Hello, Abigail here with the Tarotscopes for Leo season, Leo sun, moon, and rising. To all my Leo suns, happy solar return. And this Leo season is quite interesting. It is in the thick of a Mercury retrograde. It has some really punchy lunar moments. That new moon in Leo a few days after Leo season is especially punchy. If you want to know more about the astrology, I have a video that will be linked below for the astrology of Leo season. But on to the cards. So your cards are really beautiful. It also, looking at your cards, it really reminds me that the last two Leo seasons before this one, we had a Mercury retrograde and then we had a Venus retrograde. So we're kind of finishing out a trifecta of understanding and endurance. It's also important to note that all of the Leo seasons from now until 2043 are going to have Pluto oppositions. And this is going to require us to really expand into the full depth of that axis between Leo and Aquarius. It's going to require us to really engage with um, really intense themes around self and how we see ourselves within the context of society and the things that we need to change and building community and where honesty and sharing and participation are involved. So see this in like the beginning context of this big journey we're going to be going on together. Um, but the cards are just really sweet and they are about reciprocation and they are about understanding. We start off with a Two of Cups this Leo season for these Leo placements. It is about companionship and pairing and integration and understanding the other. It's about finding the people that you vibe with and the people that share your same values. And I'm not talking about like living in an echo chamber, but finding people who support you, that have the same desires and goals, who see the magic in you as you see the magic in them. It's really important that you recognize and connect with the people you need this Leo season. Something I say a lot about Mercury retrogrades is they can be really confusing and difficult. However, there's a lot of kind of moments with this type of energy where kind of impossible things can happen, especially when it comes to connection and communication. So, especially around Kazimis, the Kazimi in this month, I think it's the 31st of July. That's where the Sun and Mercury come together, is there. And I often find around that time we get these beautiful meetings with souls that we are meant to connect with. So there's a special connection this month, whether it be with a friend or a romantic partner or a family member, that we can really dig into. And if you're feeling really like you're like, Abigail, there's nothing there for me, I encourage you to keep looking, keep your eye out, keep connecting, keep putting yourself in places where you can find like-minded people who will honor and value you. And I keep talking about values because we have a Two of Coins. You know, whenever we hit a Mercury retrograde, and this one is deeply tied to the Venus retrograde earlier this year and the Venus retrograde 2 years ago that we had back in Leo season, about our values. Venus, while it is about relationships, it's also the values that we carry with us and how those integrate with the world around us. And so for my Leos, this is another value call, and you're like, Abigail, we've had so many. Yes, but this is a refining point. This is the last kind of Leo personal planet retrograde we get for a second. So, you know, take a moment to ask yourself how you've changed over the past 3 years, how you're different, how you're the same, what you value now versus what you value back then. Um, and take these values and integrate them into your relationships. Make sure that there is an alignment between all of these things, because if there's not, you will continue to struggle with one or either of them or both. And then we do have our one major arcana in this spread. We do have the Chariot. And I really do think a lot of the energy from Cancer season, like obviously energy always carries over, but a lot of the energy from Cancer season is carrying over, especially with the intensity of that new moon in Cancer and the intensity of the full moon. The full moon is also deeply connected to the new moon in Leo. Obviously, the new moon Leo's kind of partner is that full moon in Aquarius, but the full moon in Capricorn is also Saturn ruled. So we get these two Saturn ruled full moon, and that new moon in Leo is perched in between. And so we have some stuff from Cancer season to work through. Also, whenever we see the Chariot, it's about a broader journey and experience and getting perspective on where we are and what our goals are and where we want to go, and putting that into practice in our day to day and embracing the journey and embracing the fact that there really is no destination in life. It's just a constant kind of progression that we learn and grow through, which can be really overwhelming, but it's also a gift um, that I think some or all of us struggle with at some point in our lives. So understand that you're on a journey. Know that this place that you're right now is not the only thing you're ever going to experience. And also know that you have an expanse of space and time to explore. And Cancer season was kind of the crack in the door for that for you. So continue to be along for the ride in this journey. Also, an important reminder, this was the card of that Venus retrograde. That was the card of the year, was this card. And we're still on that journey of understanding and of knowing how to healthily center ourselves in society while also being a part of the community. Like how to be a healthy individual inside the greater context of our society and world. And I do think that, 2023, for better or for worse, woke up a lot of us to our place in society and our responsibilities and the importance of our connection, not just to ourselves, but to everyone else, whether it's our next door neighbor or our city or our town or our state, wherever, depending on where you live, province. Um, and then out into the world, into different countries and places and people with different religions and experiences. So allow that to continue to grow and to expand. I know it can feel like a lot sometimes, but we are expansive souls and we can maintain and care for ourselves while also caring for the world. And part of the reason I say that is because we have a 6 of Pentacles. And I love this card. Part of it's because it's my astrological card based on where my sun is. It's about reciprocation and care this season, finding care and valuing care. Something I've had to face in therapy a lot is that a lot of times a trauma response from people is to value people who innately don't give care, who withhold it as like a hostage till they get what they want. So value the people who give care freely and who understand reciprocation and who value the effort and the beauty that you bring into the world. And the gift that you can give in return is that same level of acceptance and commitment and connection. This whole spread with, the chariot having twos in the two creatures that run the chariot and are 2 of Pentacles and the 2 of Cups. And then this very sweet 6, which is 3 twos put together. There's a very numerological little story here. It is about pairing and it is about community and it's about being with another person, either in friendship or in romance or in family or in community. And I think for my Leos, this is your call to find that, to create it. Leos are very good at being beacons that draw people in. Be a beacon for your community. You don't have to take on everything. You don't need to be everything, but you can be the sparkly disco ball or the hearth or the light that shines over the dining room table. I encourage you to dig into that part of yourself this season, especially with the retrograde kind of pulling us inward. And last but not least, we have a page of coins. All those things you're working on, they're still working, but the retrograde is making them seem a little less possible, maybe a little less real. It's still happening. You still need to believe. You have to have kind of like the blind trust of a child to believe that while nothing seems like it's happening on the surface, there's a lot going on underneath. This also feels very 12th house. But yeah, and I think it behooves me to add the card underneath. We have the King of Pentacles. You're growing into something powerful and strong, and I would almost guarantee that that powerful, strong something already exists. It just needs to be pulled out a little bit more or revived if it's gotten a bit tired. So embody both this youthful energy of trust and faith and also the wisdom of time and knowledge. Anyways, my loves, that is my reading for you. It is a very tender, sweet reading, and I hope that you feel this energy as you move through this current Leo season. And I hope that you get to celebrate all of the beautiful things about you as the sun goes across your sun or your moon or your rising, really bringing that visibility. All right. Reminder that the Leo season video is linked below and that you can find me in many places. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in a different space and time.